middleweight division. Glenn Odem and Vincent Thompson in a rematch. They've fought before. For the introductions, here's our ring announcer for tonight, Dick DeAndre.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Budweiser presents the main event. Fight fans across the country, welcome to Altoona, Pennsylvania. Tonight's co-main event is in the junior middleweight division. This fight is being conducted under the supervision of the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission, Greg Serb, Commissioner. The judges for this bout are Ernie Sharif, Dana DiPaolo, and Tony Tarantino. Your referee will be Tony Wolf. And now, fight fans, it's fight night in Altoona. 10 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, wearing the black with red trunks, he weighed in at 161 pounds. He has a professional record of 12 wins, 12 losses, 3 KOs. From Sharon, Pennsylvania, Glenn Odem. And in the blue corner, wearing the green with white trunks, weighing in at 156 pounds, with a professional record of 21 wins and 2 losses, with 9 KOs, ladies and gentlemen, from Washington, D.C., Vincent Thompson.
Let's take a look at the rules as governed by the state of Pennsylvania. 3 knockdown rule in effect. Standing 8 count in effect. Fighter may be saved by the bell. In the final round only, physician may stop the fight. 10-point must scoring system. 3 judges will score the bout. And we'll take a look at Glenn Odem, O-D-E-M. The ring announcer called him Odem. And it's Vince Thompson out of Washington. These two have fought before. In fact, they squared off on September the 30th of 1994. And Thompson suffered only his one of 2 losses in his career, losing a 6-round decision to Odem. That bout was in Ohio. So this is the rematch scheduled for 10. In Thompson's last fight, February the 13th of this year, a 10-round decision over Francisco de Assis, Odem has lost 2 in a row, losing to Robert McCracken in England in November and Tony Marshall in New York by way of a knockout in April of last year. First round knockouts, Thompson has 3, Odem has zip. In fact, Odem has been knocked out in the first round twice.
And even though Thompson has that, much better record, their match, a pretty close one, the 6-round match. And of course with Odem, despite the difference in records, I think you're going to find that these 2 guys are very evenly matched.
Thompson, since that loss to Odem, has won 13 in a row. Thompson in the green and white, Odem in the black with red trim.
Let it go. Let it go,
Referee Tony Wolf.
Both men really want to establish their jab here, and both men are trying to do that.
Nice job by Thompson to slip away.
Trying to get off to an aggressive start. You can really feel it in him especially.
It's been a rough stretch for Odem. He's lost his last 2, 4 of his last 5, and 8 of his last 11.
All after, and of course, Thompson, after that loss, Odem, as you said, went on a tear and did very well. So 2 men going in different directions. Throws that left hook to the body from very far out, and counter right hand might be in order from Thompson.
Thompson has 9 knockouts in his 23 professional fights. Odem has 3 in 24 bouts. In the final seconds of round number 1, scheduled for 10, Vince Thompson and Glenn Odem on the deuce. Round number 2 underway from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Bob Pavel along with Al Bernstein. Vince Thompson 21-2 in the green and white. Glenn Odem 12-12 in the black and red.
We mentioned that both men were trying to establish the jab. 97 of the 127 punches thrown in the first round were jabs by these two men, and there's the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Very even in round 1.
Now, if you just joined us, this is a rematch. These two fought in 1994 with Odem winning a 6-round decision. Since that point, Thompson has won 13 in a row. One minute into round 2.
And again, there is Odem with the jab. Both these men set up everything off their jab. You see that. Even when they're working, they're starting to get on the inside. They like the jab to be the punch that everything flows off of. They're so similar in style also. And sometimes similarity in styles makes for a bad fight, but I think here it makes an intriguing fight because both men are able to get some things done.
Mirror images.
Very much so.
So why has Odem lost 8 of his last 11 and Thompson has been able to win 13 in a
That's
row?
really a very good question. Now, of course, a couple of the guys he lost to, for instance, are very good fighters. Tony Marshall, obviously, is a very good fighter. We've seen him many times on ESPN, and he's been a fringe contender in his division. So some of the competition was good, but still, that begs the question because not all of those are household names that he lost to. Nice work by Odem on the inside. And here comes Thompson back again. These rounds, I believe, will all be close like this, unless somebody lands something really dramatic.
Final 10 seconds of round 2. Good jabs from Glenn Odem, scheduled for 10. These are junior middleweights. Thompson and Odem on the deuce.
Glenn Odem, now, even though these didn't exactly land, and the right hand just kind of grazed, it shows you what he's trying to do. He's trying to set up the right hands with the jab. With these fighters, these two fighters, everything flows off the jab.
And round number 3 underway, and this is shaping up as a very close bout, as Al touched upon earlier. Very similar styles. That will make judging this fight very difficult.
We look at the numbers in round 2, which speak to that point. There's Odem with an edge. Both men doing nice work landing in the 40 percentile, and it's not because they're doing that bad a defensive job. Nice double left hook by Odem. Does Glenn Odem look like a 12-12 fighter? No.
No.
I mean, he really doesn't.
Double left from Thompson.
Well, he saw Odem do it and said, I think I'll do that.
Good right hand from Thompson. The jab of Odem.
These are two guys who, while they may not be big-time world-class contending fighters, are an example of very, very good workman-like boxers who are out in the vineyards toiling around America.
hoping that someday their vineyards produce a fine wine, meaning a championship.
Very well put, Robert. Actually Odem. I changed that. Odem won the first 2 rounds, and I gave Odem a 20 to 18 edge. So
yeah, I agree with that. Very close, though.
So I have Odem ahead by 2 points in this bout. Oh my!
All of a sudden, Odem looking to take control here in round 3.
Well, I said it would be even unless somebody got rocked. Vince Thompson got rocked, but boy, look at how he's recovering. But he's keeping that left hand so low. Odem will nail him again with the right.
Odem has never scored a 3rd-round knockout. In fact, Odem did have a knockout win against Earl Hargrove in 1995, but prior to that, hadn't had one since 1991.
How about Thompson coming back? And I mean, he was wobbled with that right hand. This has the makings of a very entertaining and interesting match.
Not using much of this 21-foot ring.
Give Vince Thompson credit. In a round in which he could have gone down, he came back very well.
Closing seconds of round 3. Thompson and Odem. Good one.
This is where Glenn Odem rocked Vince Thompson. Big right hand. He wobbled, but he did not go down. And ironically, that was a round in which otherwise Thompson really had control, and I ended up giving that round to Vince Thompson, despite the one punch that really wobbled him by Odem.
Round number 4 in progress. Odem has 1 4th-round knockout. So does Thompson. Take a look at some numbers through 3 rounds.
Good indication of just, well, could it be closer? No. They've thrown almost the identical number of punches, and they've landed the exact amount, the same percentage. It looks like the Kennedy-Nixon race. But my question is, can somebody steal some electoral votes for one of those guys? If Mayor Daley was here, he'd find a way, see, to make sure that, you know, one of these guys won.
You're going in a place where you cannot get out of.
Hey, I lived in Chicago and Cook County. I know what I mean.
Look to the body by Odem. Chopping right from Thompson. And I would think because these rounds are so even, it's the guy that lands those couple of big punches that will catch the judge's eye.
Both men are working very, very well here. Look at the nice little uppercuts on the inside by Vince Thompson. And a short right hand. And you look at those records and you say, how could this be such a close fight, and how could Odem have beaten him once over 6 rounds? Well, that is a mystery to an extent. I'll tell you what is a small pattern emerging. Thompson is starting to win the battle on the inside. He's finding out he can do some things on the inside against Odem, and he might be better off staying on the inside. Look at him. Look at those short punches on the inside by Vince Thompson.
Yeah, they followed it up, ended that sequence with a right hand.
Before it was Thompson keeping his left too low and Odem landing the right. Now it's Odem with his left hand low and Thompson getting the right hands in. I love bouts like this. I think this is what boxing is all about. 2 guys who are evenly matched, trading punches, showing skills.
A lot of swelling under that left eye of Odem. Neither man has been down. Good right hand by Thompson. He flips in a left, and that's the end of round 4. Quick ending to round 4. Welcome back to the Jaffa Mosque in Altoona, Pennsylvania. 4,500 Shrine members occupy this building when there's not boxing. It was opened in 1928. Some 50,000 people in this railroad town of Altoona welcomed us with open arms out.
Been very nice crowd here. Martina McBride played here recently on Leanne Rhymes, so it's a nice building for boxing. Quaint, as you put it.
Former New York Giant offensive lineman Brad Benson hails from Altoona. So does the NBA's Doug West, among others.
More information than you could get on any other telecast. Here is the numbers in round 4, and that's why I scored it for Thompson. A change in that round. 65 of Thompson's 86 punches were power shots. I mentioned he changed his strategy, and that indicates it. He's not staying outside jabbing. He wants to be on the inside.
Just about a minute into round 5. Al, let's take a look at your numbers.
There is my scoring. I have it dead even. I gave the first 2 rounds to Odem. And mind you, the overall numbers are going to start going very much in the favor of Thompson, even though it's a close fight, because he's won his rounds bigger than Odem won his rounds.
We're talking about the similarities despite the record. This is Thompson's 24th pro fight. This is the 25th pro fight for Odem. And Thompson coming in at 122 rounds as a pro. His average fight went 5.3 rounds. Odem 129 rounds. His average fight went 5.4.
Really, the only thing to choose from these men is the won and lost record, and as we've indicated, that doesn't really make it that uneven a fight.
There's a right from Thompson. Done a pretty good job in Odem's corner, dealing with that swelling under the right eye. Well, actually, under his left eye.
Again, both men go back to using the jab as a staple of their attack. I think Thompson wants to use it as a means to get inside, where he can start working those inside combinations against Odem. There's a nice combination by Glenn Odem.
Thompson answers back. You're a real boxing fan. You love this fight.
Very interesting and also action-filled.
Final seconds of round 5, scheduled for 10. Thompson and Odem from Altoona, PA. Round number 5 for Glenn Odem as he gets ready to meet Vince Thompson in the middle of the ring. This is the rematch of their 1994 fight, in which Thompson suffered only one of 2 pro losses, losing a 6-round decision to Odem. And after shaky rounds 3 and 4, Odem bounced back nicely, Al.
He really did. He used his jab very well. He kept Thompson on the outside. And there you see how close it is. Thompson with a little edge. But remember his big round, though, which I believe was round 4, he won that by a lot of punches. So don't be too misled. Now here's Thompson where he wants to be on the inside. Let's see how he does. Odem landing well, though, there.
Approaching 1 minute into round 6.
Both men wailing away on the inside and landing. Both men getting some good work done here. Nice double jab by Thompson. Boy, once he's on the inside, I'll tell you what, he gets some things done there against Odem.
Either man has been down. Thompson was rocked in round 3. Ironically, that was the first round we gave Thompson.
I think these two guys could fight 6 times, and everyone would be like this. The only man that was hurt was Thompson. Was rocked a couple of rounds ago with a big overhand right, but still came on to win the round.
Thompson getting a little cute. Good combination from Odem.
Neither of these men are huge punchers. Their knockout records indicate that. But they know how to fight. They know how to box. And just when Thompson was doing some really good work, it's Odem now who has turned the tide in this round in a big way.
Thompson did a good job there of blocking most of those punches from Odem.
Well, Bob, you mentioned it. Not much lateral movement, though, from each fighter. They're standing in front of each other, throwing punches, and that's that.
They're wearing out the Budweiser logo.
It's not a brawl, though. Don't mistake it for that. There's a lot of skill being shown there. It's just that they're right there in front of each other doing it. And this is a tough round to score. I mean, really tough.
20 seconds left in round 6. Might be that rare occasion where I actually score one even.
You can make a case for it, that's for sure.
Final seconds of round 6, scheduled for 10. Good one between Vince Thompson and Glenn Odem. Glenn Odem getting ready for round number 7 against Vince Thompson in what has been just a counterpuncher's delight.
Lots of skill shown, and in what is a very close fight, evenly contested, and I might say well contested. You said maybe, yeah, you said maybe that could be an even round. I guess so. One punch difference in the amount thrown and landed by these two men, both landing in the high 40 percentile. I made it an even round, as I suspect you did.
I sure did.
And we did it before we even knew those punch numbers. So we'd never cheat.
Al, your scorecard.
I now have Odem ahead by 1 point up. It is just that close.
By virtue of that round 5. Let's see if one guy tries to pick up the tempo. You know, in a basketball game, maybe at the half it's a close game and some team goes out on a run to start the 3rd quarter.
It's exactly what you're looking at here, Bob. Can somebody take a round in a big way? Now, in the 4th round, Thompson did that, and I thought that was going to be the trend that was going to turn this fight around. It didn't. Odem came back. Stylistically, I think Thompson needs to convince himself that this is what he needs to do. Stand right in front of Odem. Don't get into jabbing range. See, that is really where Thompson can do his best work. A little closer to Glenn Odem.
Thompson does have one knockout past the 5th round. He has an 8th round knockout on his resume. Look at their knockout ratio, and as Al pointed out earlier, not really big punchers here. Skilled boxers opposed to punchers.
And really, they are boxer-punchers in a way, because they're not going to move that much, but they're not going to hurt you. In a way, they remind me a lot of Ken Cigarani, who we'll be seeing in our main event, who has only 7 knockouts in 18 fights. But he throws lots of punches and makes fights exciting, and that's really what's happening here.
Final 20 seconds of round 7. Another fairly even round, although without the pizzazz of last round. Good work inside again by Thompson. This one is scheduled for 10. Hope you're enjoying it tonight on The Deuce. Bob Papa, Al Bernstein, welcome you back to the Jaffa Mosque in Altoona, Pennsylvania, located in the heart of the state of Pennsylvania. Glad you can join us for boxing on ESPN2. We're in round number 8 of the scheduled 10-rounder. And what a good fight between Glenn Odem and Vince Thompson. As even a fight as you will find.
And to show you how even it is over 7 rounds, look at the total numbers. I mean, there's almost nothing to choose from in these boxers. In the last round, they both threw exactly 80 punches. So you can see this one is very, very close. I want to mention on April 17th, Hector Camacho and Kenny Norton will be joining me at the Tulsa Black Tie Boxing, which is going to be a charity event to aid the Knockout AIDS Foundation and the Tulsa Boys Home. So I want everybody to come out there April 17th at the Mark Adams Hotel and support that charitable organization.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma.
In Tulsa, Oklahoma. Get to see our buddy Kenny Norton, who I know is a favorite of yours, and also Hector Camacho, who just did a number on Sugar Ray.
Al giving back.
Well, it's a good organization. They've over 6 years they've raised a lot of money for charity in Tulsa. So boxing gives a lot back.
Midway point of round 8.
Good work on the inside now by both men, and we've said that over and over again, but it's because it's true. The short little uppercuts by both men, they are so similar in their styles and what they get done. One man throws an uppercut, the next guy throws an uppercut.
Almost like they're giving each other ideas.
Literally, and it sounds absurd, but I think in this case it's almost true. And you know, when you get in this kind of a situation, you even talked about it in other sports. Hey, I think Thompson's hurt.
Yeah. Oh, and he eats a left hand. Loses his mouthpiece. Thompson is down. He says he's okay.
Oh, he's wobbly.
A short punch on the inside sent him reeling here in round 8.
They didn't give his mouthpiece back. They got the mouthpiece is still in the hands of the referee. That's dangerous. Vince Thompson could be ready to go. He is.
Good right hand by Odem. Down goes Thompson again. There is a 3 knockdown rule in the state of Pennsylvania.
Hey, you okay?
You cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Odem has a chance.
This should be stopped right now.
That is it. It is over. Vincent Thompson loses for only the 3rd time in his career, but the 2nd time to Glenn Odem, who stops Thompson in round 8.
Well, you explain it. That man is 12-12. The other guy has a much better record, 21-2, and yet it is Glenn Odem who again, for the 2nd time, comes out victorious over Vincent Thompson.
The first time it was a 6-round decision. This time an 8th round stoppage. Odem had lost 8 of his last 11, his last 2 in a row, but he dips over the 500 mark with his 13th professional win in 25 fights in what was a very good bout.
It was extremely well contested, and Vince Thompson has nothing to be ashamed of because he performed very, very well.
Here's our ring announcer, Dick DeAndre.
At 2 minutes and 58 seconds of the 8th round, we have a TKO and your winner in the red corner, Glenn Odem.
Glenn Odem, your winner with a TKO at 2:58 of round 8. Al, let's look where it started.
Almost difficult to tell. The replay is the way we'll see it.
Right to the temple.
Right to the temple, got his equilibrium off, and now Odem goes after him. This is a case where actually Vince Thompson would have been served better had he gone down quicker. Then he could have gotten maybe his feet out from under him. This is where it all ended. This is when they called an end to the fight, really the 3rd time he had been down, and from exhaustion and joy also Glenn Odem goes down, but he ended up being the winner in this match. Spectacular effort by him.